Hi everyone, this is BTC Casey with Bitcoin Magazine, recording Meet the Plebs today with my good friend Jack on Twitter as BTC_Log. Jack, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so let's jump right into it and start off with, what is your Bitcoin rabbit hole story?
So, funny enough, I actually started with BTC Casey over here. We were about, I think in late middle school, probably about 12 years old, and I remember him telling me this story about some guy losing, I think like $700,000 worth of Bitcoin on his hard drive because his hard drive just got wiped. And I was just thinking, like, what the hell is Bitcoin, and how could he be so stupid to loot? Like, I didn't understand it at all. And then anyway, fast forward a few years, I was a junior in high school, and I remember it was like a super hot day at break, so I just decided to go to my next class where they had some nice air conditioning. And I was approached by one of my friends with the Coin Market Cap app up, and he said, "Hey man, you ever heard of Bitcoin? Like, you gotta be low key about it, man. Like, you gotta keep this a secret." When in reality, it's like everyone should know about it. But I was very interested, and I was super interested on like how it worked and what he was telling me and stuff. So later that day, I just went home and did endless research about it. Found out about Coinbase. Bought some Bitcoin off Coinbase. Was using my mom's identification because I wasn't 18 yet. So I bought some Bitcoin. Can't lie, bought some
some other non-Bitcoin coins.
Yeah, some Ethereum, some XRP off of
disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting.
The lowest of the barrel, right?
Yeah,
there.
the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, I kept I kept at it. I had 2 really shitty jobs. I remember me and Casey had last period history together, right?
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, "Shit, Casey, I have to go to my job after this, and then I have to go to another job after that job."
Yep, it was the grind, all for BTC.
All for BTC. I would take my checks and deposit it right into Bitcoin.
Hell yeah, dude. That's like the best way to get started, and really, like, I feel like that's how everyone gets started, is just
right.
Dumping all their checks into Bitcoin and just grinding away, and just dedicating their entire life to it, right. Even though it's indirect.
I really didn't know what I was doing at the time, but something told myself, like, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
So a little later down the line, I discovered about mining and stuff. I had a pretty beefy gaming computer that I used from time to time, and I found out about mining. So I was really interested in that, and I liked the idea of passive flow of Bitcoin, and especially non-KYC Bitcoin, of course. So it started with a couple, just one graphics card, actually, a 1060 6 gigabyte, and it was in my computer, and I would run NiceHash, which technically you're not mining Bitcoin, but NiceHash actually does pay you out in Bitcoin. So I thought I was mining Bitcoin, whatever, but
right.
Then the rig started getting a little bit more advanced. I was buying more and more graphics cards. I would have like 6 graphics cards on one motherboard, as well as like another 4 on another one, and that was working pretty well. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and my room would be a sauna because of the heat from the graphics cards. And then I got a little bit further into the mining mining game, I bought Antminer S9 and a Antminer L3 Plus, which is on the script algorithm. So that was for Litecoin, I believe. I bought those miners. Took a while to get them to my house, but I ended up getting them, started mining. Was super fascinated about the whole how everything worked, the mining pools. It really made me understand how Bitcoin worked. It gave me another appreciation for Bitcoin itself.
Mining got hard.
Yeah, mining
Yeah.
got pretty hard.
Yeah.
I was living in California. The electricity was pretty pricey, so it was time to sell the miners. So I sold them on eBay. No more mining. Obviously, in retrospect, it would have been a lot. It would have been a lot more intelligent to just not buy the miners and just buy Bitcoin with the money I spent on the miners. Of course, in retrospect, but I was dumb.
There's always retrospect. I mean,
Yeah, but I wouldn't trade that experience, for anything. Obviously, I would trade it for a lot of Bitcoin that I could have bought, but
Yeah, no, I think there's something to be said about the experience of learning through mining and like entering the space in that sense.
right. It was a lesson learned. Obviously, it's better to buy Bitcoin now than later. So
Yeah, and you acquired Bitcoin either way, so.
right. So
So yeah, that's you've got a pretty OG mining story to your rabbit hole, because not many people mine with graphics cards like that.
Right.
You can't do that.
And obviously, mining with graphics cards, I wasn't actually mining the actual Bitcoin. So I was mining like Ethereum or whatever was most profitable, but nice hash paid out in Bitcoin. So that's that's the important part.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But so I guess focusing on the important part then, how has Bitcoin changed your life?
Well, obviously you got a financial comfort, just in case anything happens, I have my Bitcoin just in my back pocket, just that'll always be there. So
Right, totally.
that's pretty obvious for everyone, but it definitely has changed my perspective on like what's important to me and why, and like what's not important to me. It's definitely lowered my time preference, making me think about the future more and like asking the question like, is this purchase like really worth it? Like, most people in high school, young age, teenagers, they care about the Gucci belts and the. Me and Casey have definitely had our fair share of the high time preference students.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never really was like that, but it made me think about it even more. It's like, is this purchase really worth it? Is this really gonna benefit me, or is it better just to hold Bitcoin? Because I'd much rather have 100,000 sats than a Gucci belt. So
Right. So going off that, what's the amazing thing about Bitcoin that makes those 100,000 sats more valuable to you?
it's there's endless things about Bitcoin that are amazing, but it's really beautiful to have the ability to be self-sovereign and be your own bank. Nothing comes close to mimicking that, other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just for the people. It's Bitcoin is trust, and nowadays it's more and more difficult
to find things that are trustworthy, right?
Yeah, right.
I think we've talked about this on Satoshi Chats before, where Bitcoin, because you don't have to trust it in the first place, it's don't trust verify. You can trust Bitcoin to be like that. It's
Right,
like
exactly.
it always comes back to we can trust that Bitcoin is not trustable. I guess what you
Right.
would say.
Something else is that like during the BTC 2021 Miami conference,
Yes.
I remember Jack Mallers said, I don't remember which speech, it's probably the last one, but like Bitcoin is fair. Like as much as Michael Saylor gets, gains from his bag, so does the children in El Salvador, so
Literally.
it's fair for everyone. Like it's no manipulation at all.
I think that was the last.
Yeah, probably.
Because he was like, when Michael Saylor's bags get pumped, so do the child that he was talking about.
Yeah, the children with the hardware wallet. So it's just fair. It's the most fair money that there ever will be.
Absolutely. So talking about Bitcoin 2021, we wrote these questions right before we left, and now we're here right after. And one of the questions was, what are you most looking forward to in the Bitcoin space?
Right.
Having said that, what do you, what do you think?
The first thing I put was BTC Miami 2022.
Right.
So.
Because that's the next thing that's going to be this big,
Right. Like, I'm also just excited. Like, there's so many things to be excited about Bitcoin, especially now that after what Jack Mallers said, it really opened up my eyes to what actually can happen. I
know. I mean, there's been some crazy things going on already on Twitter where other countries are, taking on the laser eyes and whatnot. And I think we're just in the tip of the iceberg, one would say.
Yeah. I think it's great. We're gonna be able to like witness this, like the changing of the world, like in front of our eyes. Like, I think I saw someone on Twitter. I wish I could give him credit, but he said after that Jack Mallers speech, it got me thinking. Like, it used to be what can Bitcoin do for me, but now it's what can I do for Bitcoin.
Like a classic take on the JFK quote.
Is that a JFK?
Yeah, it's like maybe JFK was quoting someone else. Like
he was
Abraham
quoting
Lincoln.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, of course he was quoting Bitcoin. But yeah, what can we do for Bitcoin? And the funny thing is, like, regardless of what your answer is, Bitcoin will go on.
Right, like Bitcoin doesn't care about my answer.
Yeah, and it just appreciates your answer regardless of what it is.
Yeah, it's great to be a Bitcoiner. It's great to know that you're helping. I mean, it's a stretch, but you're helping the world become a better world. Like,
no, I don't think it's a stretch at all.
Like,
I think it's totally on par.
Yeah, like you're literally changing the world just by holding Bitcoin, and it could. You might not be actually physically there to change it like Jack Mallers, but you're still part of it, and that's, I think, the best part.
Yeah, I think everyone who contributes to the network just by participating is partially responsible for what's going on. Right.
Makes me able to go to sleep at night knowing I'm doing something decent.
Yeah, exactly. And I think anyone who has like understood Bitcoin understands that. So to hype us all up towards the end of this Meet the Plebs, what's there's some hopium during this dip, right? What's your price prediction for the end of 2021 and the end of 2030? And feel free to be as bullish as
bullish. Yeah, I'll be pretty bullish. I think price predictions are fun. It gives us a little hope. It's always fun to think about the future. But I'd think by the end of 2021, the standard. I think $100,000 is pretty standard. I think it's reasonable. I think we could do it. We're only about halfway through the year.
Still got the rest of the bull market to go through.
But let's just say 200,000 for that, because I think
Yeah, why not?
the first 100,000 is always the easiest, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, the difference between 30,000 and 60,000 is the same
Is the
difference
same,
between 100
yeah.
and 200, right? So.
But going on to 2030, see, that's pretty tough. That's about
It's a long time away.
2 halvenings from now. So,
Jesus.
and about halfway through the second one. So, I don't know. I would, in the ballpark of 10 to 15 million.
10 to 15
is
million,
about accurate.
That's good.
But I
Reasonable.
think obviously 10 to 15 million sounds exciting, but I think the U.S. dollar won't have as much purchasing power by then. So
Right. So who even knows?
So what
if
is
that,
10 million?
Is representative of,
right. So it's
yeah.
just a number, right? It's just a number on a screen.
Totally. I like that answer. I think I gave a very similar answer when
Right.
I was asked this question on Meet the Plebs, and it was something like that where who knows? Because what if the U.S. dollar isn't even that much representative of
Right, but
what, value
let's
is.
say it's 10 million, but the U.S. dollar has plummeted. It's still a victory for Bitcoin. Like, it's,
Yeah, I think in my mind Bitcoin will always hold its value. Like now that we're at $30,000 per Bitcoin, even on our dips we're at 30,000, right? In my mind, Bitcoin will always be valuable. Like
Yeah.
it's always gonna hold its value in some form or shape, even if that denomination changes, whatever the currency
Right.
denominator is.
like it'll still be a reliable store of value.
Be worth something. Yeah, someone's gonna give you goods for that value.
Yes.
So, I think that economy cannot be stopped at this point.
At what point do you think that Bitcoin will just no longer be priced in dollars? It just won't happen.
When you can purchase things like gas or a burger for less than like a couple thousand sats, or even less than 10,000 sats, because right now a burger, like a good burger at a good gourmet burger place, would probably be worth what,
$15?
Yeah, $15. So what is that? Right now, that's like 30,000, 40,000, like some crazy amount of sats. So I feel like it would have to be like when you can buy a burger for 2,000 sats. I feel like that's much more like understandable for people.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I was hearing someone talk about the El Salvador adoption, and I think they said something along the lines of like, it's extremely volatile. I just don't see it being usable in practice in that country, and it got me thinking like, well, really it's not volatile. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, so why does it matter? Why does it?
And what do they even mean, like volatile relative to what?
Relative to what? Yeah, you're basing that off of the value to U.S. dollars. But when an entire country has the Bitcoin standard, why would they?
Yeah, they're not relying on Yeah, there's so many things here where they're separating themselves from the value,
Right.
control of the dollar.
They're independent.
Right. I mean, right now, I think they were saying on Twitter Spaces that they're not going to be fully independent of the dollar. But,
Right. It's still
that's what they say on the first day.
It's going to take some time,
Exactly.
Like, obviously, tomorrow, there's not, gangs using Bitcoin to buy drugs,
That's probably already happening.
Oh, yeah, it's probably been happening, but,
Right.
it's not like tomorrow everyone's going to have strike and fucking...
Right. Well, who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, I think definitely we'll see continued advancement in that sector. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for us. Really appreciate having you on.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me on. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and everyone remain bullish. Find Jack on Twitter at BTC_log. Relatively unfollowed pleb, so definitely give him the follow because he's got the signal, and definitely look out for the next Meet the Plebs as well. Me and Tyler LaRoche will be handing it off back and forth. We figure it's better format than 3-person, so it'll be more fun, I think, and looking forward to continuing to do this podcast. So tune in to the next episode. Thanks.